Hello, exceptional students of Mrs. Whitney's. So this is our fourth and final lesson of rational numbers, and we're going to move on to multiplying and dividing them. So let's start. So multiplying and dividing rational numbers are exactly like multiplying and dividing integers. If the signs are the same, then the answer is positive. If the signs are different, then the answer is negative. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply two decimals. So when we're multiplying decimals, this one's going to work out so that the decimal point lines up, but you don't have to line them up in the decimal point, you just have to line them up by the last number. So this is two-digit multiplication. 3 times 6 is 18, so 8, carry the 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Then we move on to the tens place. So the 0 goes in the ones place. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 2 is 6. So now we add those two. We get 8, 12, carry the 1, 6, 7, 8. And since we're multiplying, you count the number of decimal points to the right of the decimal point. So 1, 2, which means we move the decimal point over 1, 2. The decimal point goes there. So our answer is 8 and 28 hundredths. And our answer is negative because it is a negative times a positive. So our answer is negative. Negative because the signs are different. So signs are different. So let's see here. Let's move on to multiplying more than two different kinds of rational numbers. So this is very much like multiplying. So multiplying fractions is easy. Remember, if you have two fractions, so let's say 1/3 times, or 1/2 times 1/3, you multiply the top, so it's 1 times 1 and 2 times 3. So my answer would be 1/6. So let's look at this. I know that PEMDAS says that I have to do what is inside the parentheses first, and these brackets are just the same kind of thing as parentheses. They're just brackets. But I know that multiplication is commutative, so I can move things around. And I'm going to move this 1/7 and -7 so that they're together. I'll show you why in a second. It's going to make my math a whole lot easier. So if I say 1/7, -1/7 times -7/1 times 4/5. And so I was allowed to move it over because multiplication is commutative. So now if I multiply negative times a negative, I end up with a positive. 7 times 7 is 1. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 is also 7. So I know that that ends up being 1. So now I have 1 times 4/5, which just equals 4/5. And it's positive because it's positive 1 times a positive 4/5. So that's how you multiply fractions. So now dividing rational numbers. We're going to start off with this problem. So when you divide fractions, the first step you have to do is convert to an improper fraction. So convert to improper fraction. So I'm going to end up with, let's see here, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. So we have -26/5. Still divided by. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So I end up with 7/3. Now my next step is to keep it, change it, and flip it. The more correct thing to do is say you're going to multiply by the inverse. So we take -26/5 and we multiply by 3/7. So let's see here. I don't think there's any way I can simplify this. So we say 36 times, or 26 times 3. So 26 times 3 is 18. 6, 7, so 78. Yuck. And then 5 times 7 is 35. So we get 78 35ths. Ooh, let's see here. How many times does 35 go into 78? Well, I know it goes, oh, by the way, I'm negative because a negative times a positive is negative. Well, I know that 35 goes into 78 twice, so I would get 2 with 8 left over. So 2 and 8 35ths. So negative 2 and 8 35ths. That's a doozy of a number. Okay, let's see here. A real-life application. An investor owns stock A, B, and C. What is the mean change in value of these stocks? So I know that mean change means that I take the change here, I'm going to add them, and then I'm going to divide by the number of numbers. So I'm going to add negative 180 and 39 cents plus 127 and 28 cents plus a negative 280 and 52 cents. I'm going to divide all of that by 3. So let's see here. I'm going to take the first two, and I know the signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to go over here and say $180.39 subtract 127 and 28 cents. I end up with 1. I have to borrow here. That gives me 3 and 53.11, and it's negative. So I have negative 53.11 plus negative 280.52. Well, they're both negative, so I can add them. So 3, 6, 3, 8 and 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so 13. So 333 and 63 cents. Again, all negative. So $333.63 divided by 3. Well, that's $333.63 divided by 3. The decimal point goes up on the roof. 3 into 3 is once. 3 times 1 is 3. 0. Carry down the 3. 3 into 3 is 1. 3 times 3 is 3. That's 0. Carry down the 3. 3 into 3 is 1 again. Again, 1 times 3 is 3. That's 0. Carry down the 6. 3 into 6 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Carry down this final 3. And 3 into 3 is 1. So my mean change is negative $111.21. So let's see here. Let's review this a little bit. So I added up these three numbers, and I ended up with a negative $333.63. Divided by a 3, a negative divided by a positive gives me a negative result, and that was a long division to figure that out. So that's multiplying and dividing rational numbers.